2. When I first got the roar, I didn't think I could be leader of the Lion Guard. That's what Kion, Simba and Nala's youngest son, once said. But hold on, if Kion was the youngest asterisk, that means there had to be someone older, and there was. Long before Kion was born, Simba and Nala's very first cub came into the world. A strong little lion with a curious heart and a name full of promise. His name was Kopa. Kopa wasn't just any cub. He was destined to be king after Simba, the future ruler of the Pride Lands, the one who would carry on Mufasa's bloodline. Simba adored him. Nala watched over him with pride, and Rafiki painted his mark on the great tree for all to see. The Pride Lands had their heir, but then something happened. Something so mysterious, so powerful, that Kopa's name was never spoken again. Not in the films, not in the shows, not even in Simba's own words. It was as if the heir to the throne had vanished from history. So, what really happened to Kopa? Let's dive into one of the biggest mysteries in the Lion King universe. 2. The most popular theory points a claw directly at Zira, Scar's most loyal and vengeful follower. Zira had sworn revenge against Simba, vowing to see her own son Kovu take the throne one day. Imagine her fury when she discovered that Simba already had a son, a rightful heir standing in her way. Her hatred would have burned brighter than ever. Did she attack Kopa? Did she try to destroy the future of the Pride Lands before it could even begin? In some of the original book series, The Lion King, 6 New Adventures, which first introduced Kopa, it's heavily implied that Zira attacked the young prince, leaving him for dead. In this version, the grief was so immense that Simba banished Zira and her followers to the Outlands, and the pain of losing his son was so great that Kopa's name was never mentioned again. It's a dark, tragic end for the firstborn, a story of loss that shapes Simba into the overprotective father we see with Kiara. It explains why he's so terrified of losing another child. Books. That's just one theory. What if the story didn't end there? What if Kopa survived? What if he wasn't killed, but taken? Picture this, a young, adventurous cub, just like his father was, wandering a little too far from Pride Rock. He stumbles into danger, maybe a pack of hyenas, maybe a trap set by Zira. In the chaos that follows, he disappears, swept away by a river, or carried off far beyond Simba's reach. The Pride, finding no trace of him, would believe he was gone forever. But in reality, Kopa's story was only just beginning. Far from the familiar sights of the Pride Lands, Kopa would have had to learn to survive on his own. The little cub, who was meant to grow up surrounded by family and royal guidance, was suddenly thrown into a harsh, unforgiving world. Every day would be a fight. He would meet strangers, some kind, some cruel. Perhaps a rogue lion pride took him in, raising him as one of their own. He would learn to hunt, to fight, and to live without the protection of Pride Rock. Stores over the years, the lost prince would grow strong. He'd carry scars from his past, not just on his body, but on his heart. But he'd also carry wisdom from his long journey. He would become a very different lion from the king he was supposed to. Be tougher, more self-reliant, perhaps even a little cynical. And here's where it gets really exciting. If Kopa is alive, then somewhere out there, beyond the Pride Lands, the true firstborn of Simba and Nala walks under the same stars. Imagine the moment of his return. Simba, coming face to face with the son he thought he had lost forever. Nala, overwhelmed with tears of joy and disbelief. It would be a reunion that would shake the very foundations of the kingdom. Think about the impact on his siblings. Kion would discover that he wasn't the first son after all, but the younger brother of a lion who had lived an entire life in exile. Their dynamic would be fascinating, and Kiara, she has been raised as the future queen. Her path seemed clear, but if her older brother, the firstborn heir, returned, spoke, what would that mean for her destiny? According to Pride Lands tradition, the firstborn son is the rightful heir. Her claim to the throne would suddenly be in question. It would change everything. The succession, the Lion Guard, even the future of the Circle of Life. And let's not forget Zira. What if she knew the truth all along? What if her entire plan to make Kovu king was built on the lie that Kopa was gone for good? If Kopa returned, her lifelong scheme would crumble to dust. Kovu would no longer be Scar's heir in her eyes, but a direct challenger to the true prince. That conflict alone could ignite a war that would shake the Pride Lands to its very core. But maybe the real power of Copa's story isn't just about the throne. Maybe it's about something deeper: resilience. It's the story of a cub who lost everything, who was forgotten by history, and yet, somehow, survived. He's a lion who grew up without the legacy of Mufasa to guide him, but still found the strength within himself to carry on. Copa's destiny was never to sit on the throne at Pride Rock, but to carve out a new path, one that no one, not even the great kings of the past, could have predicted. So, when we watch the story of the Pride Lands, when we hear Simba's tale, when we follow Kion and Kiara on their adventures, we can't help but wonder, somewhere out there, under the stars that Mufasa watches from, could the lost prince still be alive? Could he be waiting for the right moment to return and reclaim his birthright? And if he does, what will become of the Lion King's legacy? Because legends never truly disappear. Sometimes, they're just waiting for the right time to roar again. Thanks so much for watching. What do you think happened to Copa? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the lost history of the Pride Lands, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite stories. See you next time.